Friends 2.
All right, we are out at the haunted forest. This is. Yeah, I know.
Is that what it is?
I guess this is what.
I think that's what's supposed to be on that side.
Figure it out,
Be honest, you never played at a pond, have you, Sonny?
This will be interesting.
We are with Sonny from P.O.D. and we are out at the haunted forest tonight.
Yeah.
So actually, we're going to be catching you tonight, and I can't wait. We caught you at Uproar Tour.
Oh,
was it 2012?
2012.
Yeah.
Awesome. Been hooked ever since. I mean, I don't know why we weren't hooked before, but first time we ever caught you guys at a show, and just insane. I mean, just magnetic, and it was just we've been pushing everybody your guys' direction ever since. So, an Islander, come on, yeah, love those guys, love those guys.
Yep.
So, how's everything going on the new album and everything? How are they accepting the new album?
So far, so good. I mean, we're a band that's never been given anything. You know,
Right.
23 years later, you've sold millions of records, and we're still hustling and working to sell the next record. You know, but so far, so good. We're constantly touring. You know, nobody buys records these days, and
Right.
and music listeners have kind of become like I always compare it to fast food. They just you know, quick and
true.
easy. It's quick and
it's
easy.
True. Yeah, you can buy one song
Yes.
off of iTunes and be
Yeah.
done with it.
So the frustrating part is that there's a lack of relationship with, you know, with bands and their fans. You know, when I was a kid, it was like we would go through the record stores, and you know, you would read their thanks, and you would read where they recorded their records and
love
what
it. Yeah.
everything about them. You
Love it.
wanted to get to know this. So we're losing that connection, and I don't know whose fault that is. I mean, for me, it's not like I think, well, I'm in a band and I have fans. I don't even call them fans. It's like, dude, we're just the ones making the noise tonight. You know,
Right.
you guys are the ones. This is your show. So again, we're always hustling, but so far everybody that's bought it is digging it, and it's a concept record, so there's so much in there. It's not like you just do it once and forget
I
about
love
it. You know?
how before there's an intro to each song. There's a little story being told. I was even listening to it before I left work to come down
wow.
here. I keep playing it on my Spotify
Yeah,
over and over.
yeah.
That draws me in even more as a listener.
Nice.
It's really neat.
We took a chance. I mean, it's old concept records like you know, Pink Floyd,
Mhm.
The Who, Queensryche, and when a lot of the hip hop we grew up into would always kind of tell a story, you know, and but most 14-year-olds and most kids don't know that.
They haven't seen it. It's just like they haven't seen the inside of an album cover.
Yeah. They've
If
never
it
read the
doesn't come
things.
off iTunes, they don't know.
Right.
Yeah. So 23 years.
Yeah.
How have you guys stayed so relevant? How do you feel like that you guys have stayed relevant? Is it something you struggle with, or it's just you play and write what you want to write and what feels good to you, and just hope everybody holds on to it?
The devout followers.
Yeah. Truthfully, that's it. I mean, I think we've come to a point where you realize you can't please everybody, and if you have once you sign to major labels, you have so many people telling you what to do, what your band's supposed to be like,
Yes.
what's popular, what's hidden, and then you have everybody else that's in your pockets, and it's like we have to stay on top, and so a lot of that you tend to, at least for me, is where it doesn't become about your band and the music anymore, or that relationship with the fan base, and that's why we took time off,
Yeah.
So now in a way it sucks. I mean, we can kind of call our own shots and do what we want, but if you don't do certain things and you don't sell out in certain ways, you tend to fall behind, and that's so you have to really decide, like, hey, for us it's like I don't think there's any more fame to be had or any more success. It's like you just hold on to your integrity and your dignity, and you're like, man, we put out great music and we love it, and the journey's been awesome, and as long as people keep coming to the shows, we'll keep playing, as long as we can, but there's just certain things we're not going to do, and because this is our band, and that's how it's supposed to be, but most people don't know that. Like I said, when you have people telling you, this is what you're supposed to do, and then you look at all the bands that have kind of come up in the same era as we have, and everybody changes. Everybody, they're not.
Yep.
It's
You're
not
right,
right.
yeah.
I was just like 23 years, and it seems like to me you guys are the most relevant and
Still true to who you
yeah,
were.
and
years
it's just
ago. I
it's
mean,
just amazes
Yeah.
me,
you
and
didn't
it's
sell
just,
out to the labels.
it's
I
inspiring.
appreciate that. I hope you can convince the rest of the world that.
That's what we
it's
try to
terrible.
do.
The only
You have to.
selected few get it.
It's terrible that we have to try to
Yeah,
convince
yeah.
everybody else of it. But yeah, that's what we love to do. It's
Yeah.
like we want to get that type of word out, and the music industry is just so. There's so many
I
different
know.
crevices and cracks, and
It is.
and it's just crazy. And
So many big
I am
heads
so
that wanna
proud of
rule
you guys,
everything.
and just man, you do it the way you want to do it, and you don't bend for anybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
So
at the end, like I said, you have your integrity.
Yeah. At the end of the day, that's
I'm
all
gonna
you're
cash.
going to be left with.
Hopefully, I can cash my integrity checks at some point, right?
Right.
And then pay my bills with it.
Maybe one day.
One day.
But yeah, no kidding. But we also we're with BleachBANGS. We had interviewed you over at in Kansas City in 2012, and then I think it was 2013. You guys were in Albuquerque, and our co-host caught you guys up there as well.
Yeah.
So I think he interviewed Wub and was it Wub and Marcos?
Or maybe just
Wub,
Wub, I don't
Wub,
remember.
I know, and they're like, BleachBANGS. What are
Aw.
you guys in Kansas City?
Nice.
I'm just like,
Different people.
yeah, just
Yeah.
pretty cool. And they are so into P.O.D. too. And
Aw.
I mean, everybody that's ever talked to you guys sold. Just
Yeah.
sold.
That's one thing I am proud about this band is that, I mean, we're a band's band. We know where we come from. You know what I mean? We've been through so many different struggles and ups and downs. We've seen the highest part of the mountain in this industry,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, we're still learning. You know, we've made so many mistakes. We've had so many successes, but there's nobody you meet, you know, from label people to bands, and you can ask, dude, what do you think about P.O.D? And no, those are the boys right
You're
there.
right.
You know,
Oh,
right.
absolutely.
but that's just humble
Boom.
beginnings. It's you know, it's how we were raised, and there's certain bands that we've connected with on the road too. We're just good old boys. We're
Yeah.
like, there's a kindred spirit, and then you meet people. You're like, man, you're really not that happy, huh? You know?
Yeah. Is it
We've
really?
run into some of those.
I'm sure you have. You're
Yeah.
like, you know, like
Yeah.
you're wasting their time. Hurry up,
Yes.
it's done. And it's we've seen it all.
Wow.
We've seen it all. We were just at Aftershock, and you know, there's all day long you have your press tent, and
Yeah.
you're just hopping from table to table. There's like 50 tables, and you know, it's kind of a whirlwind.
Yeah.
But you see everybody making their rounds, and it's like, you know, I mean, I talk to mostly the crew guys. What's up? Good to see you.
Yeah.
Right.
You see a lot of these bands, especially with the newer guys, and I don't know if they're intimidated or if they just think they're the
They think
the
that's
best
how they're
thing.
supposed to act.
And that's how exactly. And then it's like it's 10 in the morning, and you already got all your makeup. You got the whole kit on. I'm walking around with flip flops. It's hot, Sacramento.
It's hot.
And they got their whole kit on. They got everything. And they walk around and sitting down, and I'm just like, I just have to calm down because I start getting angry.
Yeah.
You know, and I said it on stage. I said, you know what, like, whatever. This band, 23 years, whatever. I don't even know where we stand anymore. I said, but dude, I go, I'm so tired of fakes and phonies. I said, dude,
Yeah.
this is the realest band that you'll ever watch in this setting. I'm like, dude, so I don't know what that's worth, but that's just the truth.
Yeah,
you know?
it is the truth.
Like,
And
everybody's
You're right.
they're brainwashed, and I get it. Like, but at some point entertainment only lasts for so long. You know, I don't want to be entertained anymore. It's like, guys, I need substance.
Yeah.
I need. And it's
You
so
can
it's
catch
tough.
me with the show, with
Yeah.
the visual show, but if you don't have
Have
the
a
substance
soul,
behind it, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk.
Yeah.
Very
Because
good. It's
I-
true. Yeah.
if I want to watch a movie, I'll go pay my
Yeah.
$10 and go watch a movie.
Yeah, it's just it's tough.
Well, you guys have figured it out, that's for
Yeah.
sure. And it's just you're so real. You know, everything about you guys is real, and
Thanks,
there's nothing fake about anybody in P.O.D. I mean, you meet one, you met
Yeah.
them all, and so it's just amazing. And that's how I think you guys have stuck around for so long and stayed so strong. And
Yeah, we're hanging in there.
Yeah.
Does it get any easier with the songwriting and stuff over the years, or is it still,
That's
or does that just come completely natural?
it
to you?
does.
Okay.
It's you know, here we are. You sit on a bus, you're touring forever. It's like when it's time to write a record, it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be fun, you know. And whether it's us sitting around somewhere or Marco's coming, you know, we'll get together to practice, and Marco's coming with a guitar riff, and we're like, cool, and we'll just start jamming, and it really is fun. And that's kind of, you know, when we took our little hiatus, it's kind of like we got back to that.
That's good.
It's kind of like we shook off the dead weight, you know, a lot of the, you know, again, because if you're not putting out a record every 16 months, you're not doing what the label says,
right?
They move on to the next.
You're
so
right, they do.
We've kind of went through all our different lawsuits and different stuff to get out of contracts and say, you know what, we're gonna start over. And even knowing that this is gonna hurt us, you know, it's gonna hurt us to be P.O.D. and then start over again on your own. But we did on our own terms, and I wish it was really just about the music, but you know, sad to say it's not. You know, there's just
you're right.
The music is 5% of it. You know, I mean, you listen to most of the stuff. It's like I said, there's nothing behind it. You have the same 4 writers that write for everybody. Now you have the same writers that are writing pop or writing rock. So it's like there's no. Before, at least we were in our own spaces. Now it's all the same, and you know, it's just it's too bad. But writing's the easy part, and you know, if anything, just touring nowadays, it's like we thought 23 years later, all these records sold, you can tour smarter and not tour 13 months out of the year. So that's for me as a husband, as a daddy, you know, I desire to be home all the time.
Of course.
Right.
So but I also love being out here because of the music. And so now, you know, when people, they don't buy records, it's like, well, you have to tour 13 months out of the year. So that's where we have a clash.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the tough part.
Yeah.
So you want to tour smart, but at the same time, it's like, man, I gotta get home. You know?
And that's true. I mean, most of your money is really, I mean, it's not in album sales anymore at all. I mean, it's merch and being at the shows. So, man, I didn't even really think about that.
Yeah.
You got to be out to her.
You have to.
Speaking of, how did you guys hook up with ICP on this? How did that come about?
It's an interesting mix. But again,
it is interesting.
Talking about doing what we want to do, we got asked to do, you know, some of the bigger rock arena tours. And but we've done that. We've done that. It's the same acts all the time. It's the same crowd, and so when ICP they actually asked us to come on, we were shocked ourselves because you know, we're ICP. People were like, "This is okay. We're two different ends of the spectrum." You know, and they're not even a band. You know what I mean? They're hip hop, and it's like, that's interesting. And then you have you know, the controversy with the you know, their background and the Juggalos, and and it's like, you know what? But for me, take music out of it. The reason why I've been doing this for so long is because music is powerful. It changes people. It gives us a platform. It gives us, for me, I believe music gives us a straight direction right into your soul to be able to share, you know, what you believe. And when they asked us, it was a no-brainer. And so a lot of people are like, well, that's weird. That's, you know, and most of, I'd say maybe 1 to 2% of our fan base is coming out to the shows. It's not even.
But that could be a good thing.
I think, well, that's why
in front of a crowd that wouldn't have come to that generic arena show that you were talking, you know, that you played with before.
We knew that, and I tell them every night. I say, you know what, you know, I hope that when we, you know, we come and do our own thing, that you guys are welcome, you know. But I think sometimes with the Juggles, they do feel like I honor their loyalty. I watch them, and I it's awesome, you know. It's a little misguided, you know, but I love that they. But I think that's just the human nature of us. We want to belong to something. We want to be part of something. That's like me and my faith, you know. And so for them, it's like, okay, well, you know, if no one else will accept me, I'm gonna hold on to this. So I honor the fact that they want to be a family and they want to be this togetherness, and that's just human nature.
Very cool.
Have the Juggalos been good to you guys?
Oh, they love us.
Good.
We love them. I mean, they're still the ones that, you know, they want to make you work for their love. You know, and they'll stand there the whole time because in their minds too, they're like, hey, well, you're that quote unquote Christian group, and you know, and we're supposed to be the tough ICP fans. So, but I think when they see, you know, they maybe they just don't know me. You know, I mean, they don't know us. We're not choir boys. I wasn't raised, you know, in church, and this is something that I accepted on my own, but I'm still me. Like, I'm not afraid of no one.
Yeah, right.
So when I get up, it's like we demand respect, and it's like, especially for my faith, it's like, we demand it, and I think they're the type of crowd that they cling to that, and it's like they see it, and at the end, we get them. We do get them, and so, like I said, my hope is that they'll come out to, P.O.D. shows, next tour.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't lie. First time when she goes, "Did you hear about ICP?"
Yeah, no.
And then I was like, "What? P.O.D.'s touring?"
Yeah,
I said, "What?"
It's true.
I go, "How did that even happen?"
It's true.
But it's really cool. I mean, it really is, and just different, putting you in front of different people and all that kind of stuff. That's really cool. I mean, the Haunted Forest. You would have never been here.
I mean, if you ask the rest of the guys, they'll tell you this is probably the most. It's awkward. It's at some points you don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of the venues we're playing are old rock and roll shanties because ICP they destroy the place. They physically destroy the place.
Right.
So we're not playing the House of Blues. We're not playing all the nice, $1 million venues. We're playing the old.
And
rock
they
and roll
kicked you outside now.
and so we're playing these old. Even I heard one of the guys say, like, even I think it was the ICP monitor. He was like, "Wow," he's like this. He's like, I've played some places. Like, this is going to be interesting.
This is going to be really interesting.
So,
it is.
And I think for us, that's part of the cool factor where we're like, you know what? We're having fun. We play 45 minutes. We get to go up and have fun regardless. And again, this is part of the adventure, and that it's not the same old thing that we've done.
That's true. It's another story, another memory that you
It
did.
is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk around like. First thing I'm going to ask is if we can fish in this bad boy.
Yeah.
This little pond over
Yeah,
here.
I saw a bunch of ducks over there.
Yeah. The only thing I'm sad about, because my son is, he's always out with me.
Yeah.
I homeschool him on the road so that he can be with me. He's 8, and that's the first thing I would. Him and I, if we woke up, we were like, "Oh, can we fish?"
Yeah.
But he stayed home for
Oh, no.
for Halloween,
Okay.
because we went home to San Diego to do a
Halloween,
show, and family stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
I didn't even think
stay
about
home.
that. That would have been awesome because I mean, it's a haunted. It's like a parade thing, or a spook house and all that kind of stuff out there too.
Well, on the other side,
Yeah. So I was like, well, that would have been something you guys could have done there too. But
When we caught you at Uproar in 2012, I remember I was looking out the hotel room window the night before Uproar, and I saw kids running around in the parking lot, getting in a bus, and then when we interviewed you the next day and talked to you, and your kids were riding by on the Razor scooters.
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah,
that
my
was Sonny's kids.
Yeah, that was. As a matter of fact, on Uproar, that was the first tour. No, he went on one before in May, and that was gonna decide, hey, can he handle it?
Okay.
Because it was like a 4-week run, and it was like, can he handle it? And he did it like a champ, and then come Uproar, it was the summer.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was like 6 weeks, and he did so good. At that point, we said he can handle it. We went through the homeschooling process, had all his stuff ready. So by the end of the tour, we had already started his,
that's
his
That's
schooling.
cool. That's awesome.
And that was like, so he's awesome, and he's been out ever since. Yeah.
That's man, because it's not easy being on the road.
No,
it is not, and that's awesome that he's able to adapt to it and thrive.
But he thrives. It's funny, he thrives, and I've seen more kids on other tours, because I think we've kind of set the trend where people are like, Sonny brings his boy,
good,
and it's refreshing. It really is refreshing, and he socially, everything. I mean, and academically, he's doing so well. And even now, like it's funny because when we get home, I'll take him to his class, and he's so much more mature. Because he's
right, the
he's
social interactions that he's getting.
And
he's
it's
learning
amazing.
He's learning life lessons,
real.
as book lessons.
I see him, and he's so cool, and he's just years ahead of us.
These 14-year-olds are wearing me out, man.
But these kids in his class are still picking their nose, and he's looking at them like, son, don't do that, son. Come on, kid.
We've worked through that.
Yeah. Come on, you're embarrassing me.
That's funny.
Good stuff. Well, thank you very much, Sonny, and can't wait to catch your show tonight.
Awesome.
We're definitely going to be there. anytime that you guys are within
thank you.
100-mile radius, seriously, and that's no lie,
You guys
we're
are
gonna
welcome.
we're gonna be at that show. So she's
Yeah.
gonna be taking photos tonight.
All
So
right.
hopefully,
Whatever you
hopefully
need.
we'll get something good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
thank
Sonny.
you guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Yeah. Whatever we can do. I mean, I don't know how much we can do out here, but whatever.
Right?
Yeah. At least if ICP decides to tear up the stage,
Yeah.
it's coming down in a week anyway.
It's coming
I'm
down in
telling
a
you,
week.
you hear the same thing. Yeah, they're shutting it down anyway. So,
Oh my
so I
goodness.
think that's what we should have called this. The
We'll
whatever.
shut it down or
We'll
something.
shut
Yeah,
it
We'll
down.
shut it down tour. Shutting down clubs tour or something.
I like that
Destroying
thought.
clubs tour.
Good
man.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun actually. I've gotten up there a few times, more than a few times. At the end, they invite the bands to come up and then
Oh,
they just
okay.
do the Fago
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
on everybody. And so I have my Fago clothes right now. I just got destroyed. And it's actually a lot of fun because I mean, how many times you get to sit there and shake up soda and
Yeah.
Right.
blast it, and I've gotten actually pretty good. Like if you can launch those 2 liters pretty far.
That's hilarious.
If you do
There's
it
an
just
art
right,
to this.
It is.
There's an art.
I see some of the guys that do it every night. They're doing it behind their backs.
Nice.
Oh,
It's like a
goodness.
circus act.
That's
but
awesome.
By the time the tours come
Yeah.
to the last couple of shows, you're going to be juggling them. And,
You'd be surprised how much love you get when you look at some juggalo and you're pouring
yeah.
Fago on your head. It's just like, dude,
That's
family.
hilarious.
Yeah, where else could you really do that? And
Yeah, I'm
somebody
telling
not come up and,
And
want to
that's
touch you.
I think that's the only reason why I continue to. I mean, I do it when I can. Like tonight, probably not because there's no shower, so I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna soak in Fago, so I probably won't do it tonight. But it's almost like when you go up, you're being vouched for, and those guys that
Yeah.
are, looking at you the whole
Yeah.
time while you're playing, not trying to give you any love. You get up there with ICP, and all of a sudden the walls
They
break
loosen
down,
up a little
and
bit,
that's
yeah.
why I do it because it almost like it just cuts down all the barriers.
Yeah.
Whatever they think about us, whatever they think about faith, whatever their views are, all of a sudden these walls are broken down because we're just stupid kids throwing soda on
Right.
each other, and then it's like I know they're gonna go home and they're gonna Google stuff, or they're gonna say, you know what, P.O.D's they're
Yeah.
all right. They're gonna check out stuff.
Mhm.
We have so much history of things, and so I know that somehow, some way, there's a seed of goodness
Yeah.
planted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's gonna grow. So.
Yep.
And that's the true reason why for me that I said, you know what, I want to do
Yeah.
it. Because we have bands and people say, dude, are you guys doing ICP? Like why? I heard they throw battery. I mean, they're known for throwing stuff and
Yeah.
getting crazy.
Right.
And so far, I mean,
No.
we were never afraid. But even management, like, call us on the first night if anything goes wrong. We're getting like, dude, come on, you know.
It's like your parents call us to make sure,
It's
just checking
true.
in, make sure you made it okay.
But we'll line up. I mean, most times the club, the jugglers will be lined up, and I'll sit back here, even my son, and we just watch them, and it's like, it's just they're just searching.
It's different, yeah.
They're looking, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I just go out there and hug every single one of them. I'm gonna, I guess I should.
Yeah.
You know, it's just they're just looking to be a part of something, and so that's
You're right.
I can identify with that. But it's been awesome.
Yes.
That's- It makes sense now.
Yeah.
It makes a little more sense to me.
It does. I mean, it's definitely not there's nothing financial in it. It's like, dude, we sell nothing in merch
Yeah.
because they want ICP stuff.
Yeah. Well,
and,
that's.
and if you go look at the ICP gear, they have a jacket that's $350. I'm like,
Oh my goodness.
wow, that's a cool jacket. I can afford that.
I'm not doing
No.
it.
So, and it's like, and these kids are buying it. It's like,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Gracious.
So we play Detroit on the 31st, which is their hometown.
Oh goodness.
And the merch guy was telling us it's gonna be massive. It'll be like probably the best show of the whole tour.
Yeah.
And he was saying they do anywhere from 40 to 50,000
Oh
in
my
merch.
goodness.
So
Word.
Just-
wow.
on one night, I'm like, that's cool. I mean, that's some YouTube business. That's some Taylor Swift. Even,
Yeah.
well, maybe not Taylor Swift, but I know they sell a lot of merch.
Heck yeah. Right on.
But, right on, guys.
All right.
Thank you again
Yeah,
so much.
thank you
Can't
so
wait
much.
for tonight.
Thanks, brother. Stay warm out there.
You bet.